whatever happened to predictability? The milkman, the paper boy, evening TV. You miss your old familiar friends, but waiting just around the bend. Everywhere you look, there's a heart, a hand to hold on to. Everywhere you look, there's a love of somebody who needs you. When you're lost out there and you're all alone, a life is waiting to carry you home. Everywhere you look, everywhere you look.
And can you, by no drift of circumstance, get from him why he puts on this confusion, grading so harshly all his days of quiet, with turbulent and dangerous lunacy?
This confess he feels himself distracted, but from what cause he will no means say.
Nor do we find him forward to be sounded, but with a madness keeps aloof when you would bring him onto some confession of his true state.
Did he receive you well?
Most like a gentleman.
But with much forcing of his disposition.
You good a question, but from our demands most free in his reply.
Did you essay him to any pastime?
Madam, if those uncertain players we ought on the way, for of these we told him, and if it seem in kind of joy to hear of it, they are about the court, and as I think they have already this night they played before him.
'Tis most true, and he beseeched me to treat your majesties to hear and see of the matter.
With all my heart, and it doth much content me to hear him so inclined. Good gentlemen, give him a further edge, and drive his purpose on to these delights.
We shall, my lord.
Sweet Gertrude, leave us too, for we have closely sent for HamLIT hither, that he as twere by accident may hear affront Ophelia. Her father and myself, lawful espials, will so bestow ourselves that seeing unseen, we may of their encounter frankly judge, and gather by him as he is behaved, if it be the affliction of his love or no, that thus he suffers for.
I shall obey you. And for your part, Ophelia, I do wish that your good beauties be the happy cause of HamLIT's wildness. So shall I hope your virtues will bring him to his wonted way again, to both your honors.
Madam, I wish it may.
Ophelia, walk you here, gracious so please you, we will bestow ourselves. Read on this book, that show of such an exercise may color your loneliness. We're oft to blame in this. 'Tis too much proved that with devotion's visage and pious action we do sugar o'er the devil himself.
Oh, 'tis too true, how smart a lash that speech doth give my conscience, that harlot's cheek, beautied with plastering art, is not more ugly to the thing that helps it, than is my deed to my most painted word. Oh, heavy burden.
I hear him coming. Let's withdraw, my lord.
To be or not to be, that is the question. Whether 'tis nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take arms against the sea of troubles, and by opposing them to die, to sleep, no more, and by asleep to say we end the heartache and the thousand natural shocks that flesh to air to. 'Tis a consumption, devoutly to be wished, to die, to sleep perchance to dream. Aye, there's the rub. For in that sleep of death, what dreams may come, when we have shuffled off this mortal coy, must give us pause. There is the respect that makes calamity of so long life. For who would bear the whips and scorns of time, the oppressor's wrong, the proud's man contumely, the pangs of despised love, the law's delay, the insolence of office and the spurns that patient merit of the unworthy takes, when he himself might his Ketis make with the bare bodkin? Who would fardels bear to grunt and sweat under a weary life, but that the dread of something after death, the undiscovered country for those born, no traveler's returns, puzzles the will, and makes us rather bear those ills we have, than fly to others that we know not of? Thus conscience does make cowards of us all, and thus the native hue of resolution is sickled o'er the pale cast of thought. In the enterprises of great pith and moment, with disregard their currents turn array, and lose the name of action. Soft you now, the fair Ophelia, nymph in those orisons, be all my sins remembered.
Good, my lord. How does your audit from any this day?
I humbly thank you. Well.
My lord, I have these remembrance of yours that I have longed for to deliver. I pray you now receive them.
No, not I. I never gave you aught.
My honored lord, you know right well you did, and with them breaths of sweet bread composed, as made the things more rich, their perfumes lost. Take these again, for the noble mind, rich gifts wax pours, when givers prove unkind. There, my lord.
Are you honest?
My lord?
Are you fair?
What means your lordship?
That if you be honest and fair, your honesty should admit no discourse to your beauty.
Could beauty, my lord, have better commerce than what honesty?
Aye, truly. For the power of beauty will sooner transform honesty for what it is to bowed than the force of honesty can translate beauty into his likeness. This was sometime a paradox, but now the time gives it proof. I did love you once.
Indeed, my lord, you made me believe so.
You should have not believed me. For virtue cannot so inoculate our old stock, but we shall relish of it. I loved you not.
I was the more deceived.
Get thee to a nunnery. Why wouldst thou be a breeder of sinners? I am myself indifferent, honest, but yet I could accuse me of such things that it were better my mother had not borne me. I am very proud, revengeful, ambitious, with more offenses at my beck than I have thought to put them in, imagination to give them shape, or time to act them in. Why should such fellows as I do, crawling beneath earth and heaven? We are arrant knaves all. Believe none of us. Go thy ways to nunnery. Where's your father?
At home, my lord.
Let the doors be shut upon him, that he may play the fool nowhere but in his own house. Farewell.
Oh, help me, sweet heavens.
If thou dost marry, I will give these plague for my thou dowry. Be thou as chaste as ice, as pure as snow. Thou shalt not escape calumny. Get thee to a nunnery. Go, farewell. Or if thou wilt needs marry a fool, for wise men know well enough that monsters you make of them. To a nunnery, go, and quickly too. Farewell.
Oh, heavenly powers, restore him.
I have heard of your paintings too, well enough. God has given you one face, and you make yourselves another one. Jade, you amble, you lisp, you nickname God's creatures, and make you wantonness your ignorance. Go to, I'll no more on't, if it hath made me mad. I say, we will have no more marriages. Those that are married already, all but one shall live. The rest shall keep as they are. To a nunnery, go.
Oh, what a noble mind here is overthrown. The courtiers, soldiers, scholars, eye, tongue, sword, the expectancy and rose of the fair state, the glass of fashion and mold of form, the all observers quite down, and I, of ladies most eject and wrecked, that suck the honey of his music vows, and see the noble and most sovereign reason, like sweet bells jangled, out of tune and harsh, that unmatched form and feature of blown youth, blast with ecstasy. Oh, woe is me, I have seen what I have seen, and see what I see?
Love, his affections do not that way tend, nor what he spake, though it lacked form a little, was not like madness. There's something in his soul, over which his melancholy sits on brood, and I do doubt the hatch and the disclose will be some danger, which for to prevent. I have in quick determination thus set it down, he shall with speed to England, for the demand of our neglected tribute. Haply the seas and countries different, with variable objects, shall expel this something settled matter in his heart, whereon his brain still beating puts him thus, from fashion of himself. What think you on it?
It shall do well, but yet do I believe the origin and commencement of his grief sprung from neglected love. How now, Ophelia? You need not tell us what Lord Hamlet said. We heard it all. My lord, do as you please. But if you hold it fit, after the play, let his queen mother all alone entreat him to show his grief. Let her be round with him, and I'll be placed, so please you, in the ear of all the conference. If she find him not, to England send him, or confine him where your wisdom best shall think.
It shall be so. Madness and great ones must not unwatched go.
He will come straight. Look you lay home to him. Tell him his pranks have been too broad to bear with, and that your grace hath screamed and stood between much heat and him. I'll silence me even here. Pray you be round with him.
Mother! Mother! Mother!
I warned you, fear me not. Withdraw, I hear him coming.
Now, Mother, what's the matter?
Hamlet, thou hast thy father much offended.
Mother, you have my father much offended.
Come, you answer with an idle tongue.
Go, you question with a wicked tongue.
Why now, Hamlet?
What's the matter now?
Have you forgot me?
No, by the rood, not so. You're the queen, your husband's brother's wife, and would it were not so, you are my mother.
Nay then, I'll set those to you that can speak.
Come and sit you down. You shall not budge. You go not till you set up a glass where you may see the inmost part of you.
What wilt thou do? Thou wilt not murder me? Help! Ho!
What? Ho? Help! 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 How now? A rat? Dead for a ducat? Dead! Ha!
Oh, I'm slain.
Oh me, what hast thou done?
Nay, I know not. Is it the king?
Oh, what a rash and bloody deed is this?
A bloody deed, almost as bad, good mother, as kill a king and marry with his brother.
As kill a king?
Aye, lady, 'twas my word. Thou wretched, rash, intruding fool, farewell. I took thee for thy better, take thy fortune. Though find'st to be too busy is some danger, leave wringing of your hands. Peace, sit you down, and let my wring your heart, for so I shall. If it be the penetrable stuff, if damned custom have not brazed it so, that is proof and bulwark against sense.
What have I done that thou darst wag thy tongue in noise so rude against me?
Such an act that blurs the grace and blush of modesty, calls virtue hypocrite, takes off the rose from the fair forehead of an innocent love, and sets a blister there, makes marriage vows, as false as Dicer's oath. Oh, such a deed! As from the body's contraction plucks, the very soul in sweet religion makes a rhapsody of words. Heaven's face doth glow. Yeah, this solidity and compound mass, with trustful visage, as against the dew, is thought sick of at.
I mean, what act that roars so loud and thunders in the index?
Look here upon this picture, and on this, the counterfeit presentment of two brothers. See what a grace was seated on this brow. Hyperion's curls the front of Jove himself, an eye like Mars to threaten and command, a station like the herald Mercury, new lighted on a heaven-kissing hill, a combination in form and deed, where every god did seem to set his seal to give the world assurance of a man. This was your husband. Look you now what follows. Here is your husband, like a mild wet ear blasting his wholesome brother. Have you eyes? Could you on this fair mountain leave to feed a bane on this myrrh? Ha! Have you eyes? You cannot call it love. For at your age, the heyday in the blood is tame. It's humble, and waits upon the judgment, and what judgment? Would you step from this to this? Since sure you have, else could you not have motion, but sure that sense is apoplexy, for madness will not err, nor sense to ecstasy was ne'er so thralled, but it deserves some quantity of choice, to serve in such a difference. What devil wasn't that thus had cozened you a hoodman blind? Eyes without feeling, feeling without sight, ears without hands or eyes, smelling sense all, or but a sickly part of one true sense, could not so mote. Oh shame! Where is thy blush, rebellious hell, if thou canst mutiny in a matron's bones? To flaming youth let virtue be as wax, and melt in her own fire. Proclaim no shame when the compulsive ardor gives the charge, since frost itself as actively doth burn, a reason panders will.
Oh, Hamlet, speak no more. Thou turnest my eyes into my very soul, and there I see such black and grain spots as will not leave their taint.
Nay, but to live in the rank suite of unseen bed, stewed in corruption, honeying and making love over the nasty side.
Oh, speak to me no more. These words like daggers entered in my ears. No more, sweet Hamlet.
A murderer and a villain, a slave that is not 20 parted, a precedent lord of vice of kings, a cut purse of empire and the rule, that from a shelf the precious diadem stole and put in his pocket.
No more!
A king of shreds and patches, save me hover over with your wings, your heavenly guards. What would your gracious figure?
Alas, he's mad.
Do you not come near tardy sun to chide, that lapsed in the time and passion? Let's go by the important acting of your dread command. Oh, say!
Do not forget, this visitation is but to make life almost going to purpose. But look, amazement on my mother's sins. O step between her and her fighting soul. Conceit and weakest body's strongest works. Speak to her, Hamlet.
How is it with you, lady?
Alas, how is it with you, that you do bend your eye on vacancy, and with this incorporeal air do hold discourse? Forth at your eyes your spirits widely peep, and as the sleeping soldiers in the alarm, your bedded hairs like life and excrements start up and stand on end. O gentle sun, upon the heat and flame of thy distemper, sprinkle cool patience. Whereon do you look?
On him, on him. Look you how pale he glares. His form and cause conjoined preaching to stones would make them capable. Do not look upon me, lest with the piteous action you convert my stern effects. Then what I have to do will want true color, tears perchance for blood.
To whom do you speak this?
Do you see nothing there?
Nothing at all, yet all that is I see.
Nor do you nothing here?
No, nothing but ourselves.
Why, look you there! Look how it steals away, my father in his habitat as he lived. Look where it goes even now at the portal.
This is the very coinage of your brain. This bodiless creation ecstasy is very cunning in.
My pulse as yours doth temperately keep time, and makes me a healthful music. It is not madness that I have uttered. Bring me to the test, and I the matter will reward. Which madness would gamble from? Mother, for love of grace, lay not the flattering unction to your soul, that not your trespass but my madness speak. I will but skin and film the ucklorous place, whilst rank corruption, mining all within, infects unseen. Confess yourself to heaven, repent what's past, avoid what is to come, and do not spread the compost on the weeds. For the fatness of these pursy times, virtuous self of vice must pardon beg. Yeah, curb and woo for leave to do him good.
O Hamlet, thou hast cleft my heart in twain.
Oh, throw away the worser part of it, and live the purer with the other half. Good night, but go not to mine uncle's bed. Assume a virtue if you have it not. That monster custom who all sense doth eat, of habits evil is angel yet in this, that to the use of actions fair and good, he likewise gives a frock or livery, that aptly is put on. Refrain tonight, and that shall lend a kind of easiness. To the next abstinence, the next more easy, for use almost can change the stamp of nature, and either the devil, or throw him out with the wondrous potency. Once more, good night, and when you are desirous to the blessed, I will blessing beg of you. For the same Lord I do repent, but heaven hath pleased it so, to punish me with this, and with me, that I must be their scourge and minister. I will bestow him, and will answer well, the death I gave him. So again, good night. I must be cruel only to be kind. Thus bad beginnings, the worst remains behind. One more, good lady.
What shall I do?
Not this by no means that I bid you. Let the bloat king tempt you again to bed. Pinch wanton on your cheek, call you his mouse. And let him for a pair of reachy kisses, or paddling in your neck with his damned fingers, make you to ravel all this matter out. That I essentially am not in madness, but mad in craft. 'Twere good you let him know. For who that's but a queen, fair, sober, wise, would from a bat a give, such dear concernings hide. Who would you so? No, in despite of sense secrecy, unpeg the baskets on the house's top. Let the birds fly, and like the famous ape, to try conclusions in the basket creep, and creep your own neck down.
Be thou assured, if words be made of breath, and breath of life, I have no life to breathe what thou hast said to me.
I must to England, you know that.
Alack, I have forgot, this so concluded on.
There's letters sealed in my 2 schoolfellows, whom I will trust and as I will address fame. They bear the mandate they must sweep my way, and marshal me to knavery. Let it work, for 'tis the sport to have the engineer hoist with his own petter, and shall go hard. But I will dwell 1 yard below their minds, and blow them at the moon. Oh, 'tis most sweet, when in one line 2 crafts directly meet. This man shall set me packing all of the guts into the neighbor room. Mother, good night. Indeed, this counselor is now most still, most secret, and most grave, who is in the life a foolish prating knave. Come, sir, to draw toward an end with you. Good night, mother. Sit you down, you shall not budge.
Hey guys, so follow me and I'm your snack.
Wait, open your eyes and then Roxanne close it for her again.
I tell you how the prince did not become the king of Denmark.
See, your eyes are still open.
It's so open?
Yes!
How my eyes closed? Rima T3. Don't do it.
Okay, 3.
I'm not an English AP, but Brenda forced me to be Hamlet.
Thank you for being Hamlet.
You want me to shut?
Yes.
Got up to no good. In Elsinore Castle, born and raised, that's in Denmark, is where we spent my days. Chilling out, maxing, relaxing, no hassle, all practicing.
Sorry.
The castle when my Uncle Clark got up to no good.
Nobody cares about you. It's Hamlet, bro.
My old man died, my uncle said,
Don't bother grieving too much, think of us as a father.
There you go.
a whistle came here, my man Horatio knows
What? Is really social media
Go home, take me there.
I feel like I'm at
We walked up to the battlements at 10 or 11. The guards said, Horatio,
Everywhere
Hamlet,
you
thank heaven.
look,
Peace, break the
everywhere
Here it
you
comes
go.
again, Mark. And sure enough, there he walked, the dead king of Denmark.
It's okay.
HamLIT.
Wait, what? Oh, I thought we were like jumping, like.
No, I can't jump all the way because then I'm gonna block Roxanne behind me.
No, you're not. You're too short.
Basically, we stand up.
Yeah, so
No,
stand